வாழ்க வையகம், வாழ்க வையகம், வாழ்க வளமுடன். Am I audible now?
Yes, sir. Clear. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Guru Namam Varga, Guruve Tudu. Recently, World Health Day was celebrated. The theme for this year's World Health Day, given by WHO, was Our Planet, Our Health. It was to lay emphasis on the point that our personal health depends on our planet's health. That is to say, how important and healthy environment is for the welfare of the society. After reading this, I started looking for similar quotes from Swamiji. He has given it beautifully in a poem titled Environment Plays a Great Role in Man's Life. Let me go through the English version of this poem. We should always keep in mind that according to the providence of nature, man can enjoy his life to a certain extent. He cannot enjoy life always as he wishes. Success has to come from many sources and from many angles because man is encompassed by several environmental conditions. For his every wish, there are four dimensions. They are judgment of need, quantity, quality, and time. All the four cannot be fulfilled in every wish. There are more possibilities for obstruction, delay, and failure than success due to the environmental conditions. Health, mind, financial facilities, relatives, society, the world, and the universe all have to be congenial to the success of the wish. So, out of will or contrary to expectations, many things may happen. Knowing all these facts, we should be keeping our minds expanded and flexible to accept all the results which are coming to us beyond our knowledge and wishes. Bhagavad Gita also says, keep doing your moral duty, but do not be disappointed with the results. The circumstances mentioned above will always be changing. Therefore, we should not be rigid in our wishes with strong mental conditioning. In fact, man is moved by the circumstances, but until he realizes the strength of the circumstances, he thinks he is moving only by his will. It is imagination due to his forgetfulness of the power of nature. Swamiji has explained the role of environment well in Karma Yoga. He says that everyone is born on the earth with the imprints of karma. No one brings any material wealth when it comes. From the day of birth to the beginning of one's teens, that is 13 years, almost no one, by his own labor, is able to earn anything for food, clothes, and other essential facilities and commodities of life. This is his period of learning. All material requirements are supplied and fulfilled by society. In this respect, parents or guardians are considered part of the society. Millions of people throughout the world are involved in the production of the material requirements of every man. Protection from all dangers in life is given by society, government as well as relatives, including parents. Education is to be given by the government, which is the administrative branch of the society. For all the undocumented receipts, people are indebted to society, that is, they have run up dues with the society. In a moral sense, everyone has got all his requirements from society as a grant or advance or loan. Should not this unwritten loan be repaid to society by everyone according to his ability when one is physically and intellectually capable of repaying the dues? One sec. The moral conscience that prevails on one to repay such a loan to society by means of service is duty consciousness. Everyone is engaged in some particular work. He is paid for it according to the existing social system. By this arrangement of economics, people have generally come to think they are working for money. In reality, there is a deeper meaning in the spiritual knowledge of this service or duty purchase. The simple fact is that everyone is a debtor to the society and repays his debt by means of his service. Work should not be performed only in expectation of gratuity, since everyone is maintained by society without discrimination, whether one is male or female, child or adult, invalid or healthy, criminal or guardian, king or beggar, and working or not. So a worker should not think he is working for money. In fact, the wages for the work done by him are not a fair and just recompense for his services. Service has no calculable value because the repayment principle of the dues by the individual to the society cannot be measured. Originally, the payment of wages for a day's work was always estimated in all societies as exchange value for the commodity, facility, and comfort required for one head of family and his immediate dependents for one day. The spiritual understanding is that the work is to repay one's dues to the society, and conversely, that it is the inalienable birthright of all people to be provided with food and other necessities. On the basis of this understanding, not doing work at the proper age becomes a crime. By this crime, one gets punished in two ways. One's physical body will become ill due to lack of proper activity through work, and one loses the right of indirect feeding by wages. Under the system of Karma Yoga, duty consciousness is an integral aspect of spiritual enlightenment. Render your services in all possible and practicable ways in order to repay the dues to society and to help others. The society is there to take care of all your needs. If a person distributes his wealth during his lifetime in a manner of his own choosing, he will be blessed with peace of mind. But if he is too busy accumulating wealth and holding on to it until his death, he cannot enjoy peace of mind. Throughout his life, the person's heart will be under the burden of attachment to wealth and he will suffer mentally because of it. That is the punishment that follows as a natural consequence of miserliness. According to the principle of Karma Yoga, man himself should voluntarily become the property of society by understanding the nature of life. He should surrender his consciousness to nature because it has come from total consciousness. He should surrender the benefits of his physical body to society because it was born, reared, given status, and maintained by society. This realization of natural facts is a source of peace, harmony, and satisfaction in human life. The prosperity of a society is known by the abundance of its food, shelter, clothing, protection, educational facilities, technology, and cultural values. The prosperity of a society is therefore a pool of treasures gathered through the ages by the physical labor and intellectual services of millions of people in that society. Men may come and men may go, but prosperity continues to nurture the people of the present and will continue to nurture people who will come into the world in the future. Children, the elderly, the invalids, and the physically or mentally handicapped people cannot repay the material values they consume for their needs. All others have to render their services to produce commodities, articles, and facilities so as to maintain and add to prosperity. Understanding this philosophy of life, its importance, and its practical implementation in action is duty consciousness. Man is a phenomenon of the joint functions of body and spirit. When life is linked to the body, the consciousness existing in the life extends its activity through the senses. It is here that the feeling of pain and pleasure emerges. In order to balance natural pains such as hunger, climatic fluctuations, and the pressure of excretory forces of the body, a variety of materials and facilities are inevitably needed. In the production and exchange of materials, relatives and friends in society play a necessary role. As a result, everyone is naturally forced to deal with materials properties, and people, so as to maintain one's own body, family members, relatives, society, and the world of humanity all come under the obligation of duty consciousness. One of the most important things for any truth seeker is to also be part of creating the right actions by the society by influencing its collective thought through blessing. Swamiji says that Mahapurush like Gandhiji or Buddha are born when the collective thoughts of the majority of people are focused on certain needs to guide them when they are faced with extreme circumstances. The famous microbiologist Bruce Lipton has endorsed this theory through extensive research and has spent his thought in his famous book titled The Biology of Belief. He is also an exponent of how collective positive thinking can do wonders to the society and the world at large, and how anger or ego are forms of mental illness in human beings. Recently, I met a microbiologist research scientist who also provided more information, saying that our body is made up of 10% plus cells, only 10% plus cells, and 90% bacteria. So primarily, they are just a collection of bacteria. There are millions of bacteria in our body, which are made up of thousands of varieties. Only now, the world is trying to identify these bacteria, and so far only the gut bacteria, just around 100 species concerning the digestive system, have been understood well. We further said there are generally about 75% good bacteria and the rest are bad bacteria in our body, which is okay, which is normal condition. Good bacteria abounds when we feel good or have good thoughts, as good thoughts increase the amount of good bacteria. However, various infections increase the bad bacteria, thus leading to illness. Bad thoughts arising due to fear, anger, enmity, etc. also increase the amount of bad bacteria in the body, leading to depression, weakness, fatigue, and even illness, even in a normal person. This is how corona has been coming in waves and behaving. Because when some reputed agency says we are doomed, our immunity is immediately lowered, leading to increase in bad bacteria count, and then we feel doomed and fall sick faster than required. And when some wise counsel says that we are vaccinated and hence protected, then the placebo effect kicks in and the body's immunity mechanism improves because of increase in the good bacteria count, thus resulting in lesser number of people contracting or getting infected by the virus. Similarly, when WHO announces a new variant has been cited in some far off country and it can possibly be dangerous, we all let down our guards, that is, immunity, and become vulnerable to it. This is how collective thoughts work. So by correcting the collective thought, making it more positive, we can change this whole world. So we all must take the vaccination, but also take it only with the positive thought that we are getting immunized against a disease and not with suspicion. When antibiotics are given, they kill the bad and an equivalent number of good bacteria too, thus making the body and the mind weak. And that is why in the West, antibiotics are given only as an extreme measure. That is why doctors now recommend consuming probiotics whenever an antibiotic is given in order to help in increasing the good bacteria count quickly so that the recovery is faster. So what is the takeaway from these times? That the war on Ukraine is all due to the convoluted thought of millions of people across country lusting for power and fame and looking forward to exciting news of war and war crimes. In the end, it fuels enmity between few people with similar specific gravity, leading to a war of ego, resulting in the death of thousands of innocent civilians and hardship to millions of citizens. May we all keep them in our mind and keep blessing that the peace may return to the world again, as this can propel a new positive wave and urge more people to long for peace, which may ultimately appease the minds of the few individuals lusting for war and thus bring in peace sooner than later. May the whole world enjoy prosperity, happiness, and peace. May the whole world enjoy prosperity, happiness, and peace. வாழ்க வையகம் வாழ்க வையகம் வாழ்க வளமுடன். Thank you.